Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't know what happened to Germany and how its culture was changed by these people so badly. Remember the words I used. The culture was changed by these people. I'm talking about their justice, the sense of justice, and the sense of freedom of speech, their honesty. What happened? We have this issue with the Victory Day. Some people celebrate 9th of May as the victory against the Nazism in the Second World War. And that's the Soviets. The Soviet army got to Berlin and now they celebrate. Ukraine was part of Soviet Union. Russia was part of the Soviet Union. So they were together. So when you celebrate the 9th of May, should be Soviet Union. So the Ukrainians should celebrate it. The Russians should celebrate it. But now we have a problem. The same people who took care of the German culture, they intervened, and we have now a war between these two guys, two people, two cousins, two brothers. I'm talking about Ukrainians and Russians. So what happened? A few days ago, the Berlin Police Department decided to ban the Russian flag display and the Ukrainian flag displays during the procession celebrations of 9th of May in Berlin. Then there was a court that overturned that ban. They said, no, you should allow them. All right. And after they allowed both of them, the police department in Berlin, they challenged only the Russian. So the court banned the Russian flag now, but they never challenged the Ukrainian. So the Ukrainian flag is allowed to be displayed. The Russian flag is not allowed to be displayed. Now this is the justice and the freedom of speech that Germany became known for. I have this article here coming from Russia Today. It's just going to give us a little some details about this. Let's get going. So this article is from 8th of May. From 7 o'clock p.m. German court reimposes ban on Russian flag. The symbols were prohibited by Berlin police amid Victory Day celebrations in the city. A top Berlin administrative court has reimposed a ban on displaying Russian flags during Victory Day celebration in German capital. The ban applies to Russian and Soviet Union flags as well as to the orange and black St. George ribbons. I made a video yesterday about the double standard. The double standard was the police department appealed the court only for the Russians to be banned, not for the Ukrainians. Let me show you the video. No, I'm going to show you the video. I'm just going to show you here. This is the video, from the 7th. Actually, I think it was. Berlin police double standard. Court lifts Ukrainian plus Russian flag ban. Police appeals Russian flag. And they succeeded. Good job. Good job. So let's go back to this article. So the ban was originally rolled out by local police on Friday, applying to the aforementioned symbols as well as to Ukrainian flags. Law enforcement officials argued the measure was needed to avoid potential tensions during Victory Day celebrations, alleging that Russia associated symbols given the current situation may purportedly used to justify or glorify Moscow's military operation in Ukraine. You know what these guys cannot do? They can't ban hearts. They can't ban hearts. And they will have hearts and they will show up over there just showing up. Unless they will ban people being over there. And I'm going to make that case. By the way, these guys are going to make the case banning their symbols. You're going to see why. So, the bans on Russian and Ukrainian flags were promptly challenged in court in separate motions. The ban on Ukrainian symbols was overruled completely, with the police abstaining from challenging it. Did not even bother. It was made up, I'm going to do this, the courts will come back, and then I'm just going to challenge that, and it's just a weasel way of being. The ban on Russian associated symbols, however, was lifted only partially. with a court ruling allowing them for display only during the upcoming Victory Day Immortal Regiment event, scheduled for May 9th. Berlin police challenged the decision in a higher court, ultimately succeeding in reintroducing the ban in full. The effective police ban mirrors the measures taken by German law enforcement during last year's Victory Day celebrations, which took place shortly after the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine started. On that occasion, Berlin authorities banned the display of the flags of the two countries, arguing the measure was needed to keep the World War II celebrations clearly separated from the situation in May 22. Now, right here, let's get back to what these guys are doing best, which is banning. And remember, look, the ban applies to Russian and Soviet Union flags. Well, why Soviet Union flags? My question, why? Because in the Soviet Union army were the Ukrainians and the Russians. So if because Soviet Union flags represent some Russians in it, then why not ban human beings? Because Russians are human beings. You know the crazy inverse logic? You know what I mean? So if you ban Russian flags because Russians are in the Soviet Union and you ban the Soviet Union flags because they have some Russians, then why not all human beings? Because some human beings are Russians. You understand that? That's the key difference between being logical and illogical. It's just, one of the key, it's just unbelievable. Now, let me tell you a little personal story. Not a story, real life experience, obviously. I come from Romania, and Romania used to have a bigger German minority. So, and there were some towns in Transylvania that were, founded by Germans, settlers, invited by the Hungarian kings, whatever, to come over there and I think it was Hungarian kings, or it was, I think so, it was at that time, to defend against whatever. So they built those towns. I am from one of those towns. I was born in a German town. So I was over there, and this is how we, Romanians, looked at the Germans. These guys are ein Mann, ein Wort. One man, one word. So if they were telling you something, that would happen. Let's say, we're going to meet tomorrow at 1 p.m. Ja, jawohl. 1 p.m., the German will be right there waiting. The Romanian, maybe 1:30, maybe 2 o'clock, maybe never. So this is a big difference, key difference. So the Germans, through their behavior, built a certain kind of culture, and they were appreciated. They looked, that's changed. Even the current Romanian president is German, from a German town. Wing, wing. So for the same reason, he influenced a lot of people just by being German, by that, aura that the Germans still have, I guess. But with this kind of thing, I don't think this is, doing anything good for the German culture. Now, obviously, there will be some people who say, well, what's wrong? That's logical. That should be like that. Well, I don't think it's just. Passion, you can't, you can't tone it down. These guys did all that supposedly to, how do you call it, prevent fights or whatever. Do you think that will prevent, or that was actually fuel over the passion? I think it was fuel, or it's going to be intensifying the whole thing. Now, the thing with preventing is like this. These guys in charge of us and in charge of them, in our names, they do all kind of stupid things. They protect us by infringing our liberties. You can't do that because I protect you from something. You can't do that because I protect you from that. I've seen this in Romania, and remember, these things, communist Romania, and not only, this is like a little crack. And a crack never seals itself by itself. Never. Most of the time, let's put it this way. It's like a water dam. When you have a little crack in the water dam, that's not going to seal itself. That's definitely going to be bigger and bigger until the whole water dam collapses. That's a fact. These guys, when they have a little crack, if we accept the little crack in our liberties so they can take our freedoms a little bit, just one time, for your own safety, then that crack is going to turn into a bigger one next time and next time and next time. I will give you, for instance, the pandemic thing. We put up with certain things that infringed our liberties. Just that's the little crack. I guarantee you, the little crack will become bigger next time. And the next time is not going to be necessarily another pandemic or something. It's going to be something else where our leaders will intervene to protect us. But while they protect us, they cannot protect us unless we give up some of our rights, some of our liberties. And I'm going to do this if that will not happen. Oh, I was about to take this one. I think this is too small. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to do this. Snip, 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 snap, snap, snip. If that's not going to happen. It's going to happen in our lifetime. I will give it 3 years. 3 years. In 3 years, we're going to have another event where the government, these guys in charge of us in this democracy, they will infringe our liberties or whatever we supposedly have because they need to defend us for something else. And you know what that I foresee is the global warming. The global warming is the next one, the big crack. And by that, we're going to probably live in the basement, consume only what they allow us to consume by calling, and there are going to be only some certain number of businesses that are allowed, they're accredited to bring us whatever we order. We can't drive certain things. Probably we're going to call, hey, I have to go to well, how many? Take your bike, can drive your car. The cars we're not going to be. That's how for our own safety. And you have a lot of weak people. That's how we call them. Weak people, scaredy cats, afraid, scared shit. That will do the same thing they did in the pandemic. They're going to go and buy all the toilet paper and stock it in their basements or their garages, and they will be safe. Toilet paper. Those are the people who say, yes, everybody, stay inside in the basement. You want us to die? Global warming, we're going to, too much carbon emissions. Stay, everybody, don't do anything. Don't breathe out. Too much CO2 coming out. They're going to charge us based on our lung capacity. They can't get to that one. And I foresee that happening. Yeah, I know in about 20 years, maybe 15 years, they're going to take our heights, and our height will determine our lung capacity, or maybe we're going to do some test to see our lung capacity. And based on that, how many times we breathe in regular time, they will charge us for CO2 emission. They can go to that craziness. They went to others. They did what they did under the pandemic thing. That's the little crack. You're going to see more. All right, well, Germany, good job. Not. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.